Welcome to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, likes and comment to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. If this is your first time, please turn on the notification bell. Anytime we drop a new video, you get notified. Thanks for watching.
Over the years, Chatham House has carved a niche for itself and built a reputation as a globally admired, respected platform for intellectual engagement on different issues of contemporary interest to people around the world. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is time again for Nigeria to go to the polls to elect the next set of leaders. The national election, which will take place in the first quarter of 2023, can be considered as especially significant in Nigeria's quest for democratic consolidation. The 2023 election will be taking place on the back of almost 25 years of unbroken civilian rule. That's a record. It is a record for the country which is worth entrenching and celebrating. Every election, wherever it is held, is important to the people or entity directly concerned. It is also important to the global democracy community as well. Equally, there are also countries whose elections, on account of their weight and influence, carry wider implications beyond their immediate geographical boundaries. Nigeria is one of such countries. One area wherein the government of the All Progressive Congress, APC, distinguished itself is election management. Today, elections are more credible than ever since the return of democracy since 1999. Recent statutory engagements, enactment, and allowing the use of technology, the tools for the accurate concern. There is an emerging trend of attacks against the personnel and infrastructure of the Independent National Electoral Commission in part of the country. At the same time, political conversations on social media have become more laced with violent rhetoric and threats of violence, retaliation against those opposing partitions. I stand firmly against all forms of electoral violence and intimidation. Having spent most of my career in political opposition, I have long fought against electoral malpractice and any attempt to extinguish the legitimacy of choice of voters. I will continue to do so, I promise. I urge all my fellow contestants in this election to do the same. Let the sovereign will of the people decide the path of our nation. And let this election be determined by voters, making their choice freely rather than domineering intimidation and troubles some few. Indeed, there's more than a personal interest in Nigeria. Politics generally and upcoming elections in particular for several reasons. For as Africa's most populous country, and the continent's largest economy, it is generally acknowledged that fortunes of the African continent, and indeed the black race, is tied directly to the health of Nigeria. Also, the Nigerian elections of 2023 are coming up at a time when the country's immediate geographical neighborhood of West Africa and Central Africa is undergoing serious political turmoil that has manifested itself in the incursion of the military to power in a number of countries. In spite of legitimate concerns being expressed by observers, Nigerians are resolutely committed to democracy, regardless of their political differences. At the best of times, and with reference to its foreign policy orientation since independence in 1960, and since the end of its civil war in 1970, Nigeria has always crafted its domestic national security and economic development policies with some strategic foreign policy imperatives in mind. There is a close connection between domestic development and national security. On one hand, to prosper at home in peace and stability, Nigeria needs to uphold its national security, unity, territorial integrity, sovereign independence, and safety, as well as well-being of its people. On the other hand, to secure itself, Nigeria not only requires to build and enhance the capacity of its armed forces, but also the welfare and well-being of its citizens. Though the commitment to the promotion of human security, the country has attempted through government and other successive governments interface national security and economic development as two sides of the same coin, focusing equally on food sufficiency and sustainable development. Nigeria shares direct land borders with 4 African countries, with whose people Nigeria also shares historical and cultural affinities. This effectively means that the relationship between Nigeria and its immediate neighbors is such that it's more than just a geographical expression. To be fully secure at home, Nigeria has always believed it must be the brother's keeper. It was out of this understanding that African Premier Regional Economic Community, the ECOWAS, was established in 1975. Uniquely, ECOWAS had embedded in its mandate the promotion of regional economic integration as good in its own right, and in addition understood some regional peace and security. I am convinced, as I am sure of most of us are, that the broad principle that enabled successive Nigerian government to interface development and security and established an organic link between the national security and economic development with regional peace and prosperity is both impeccable and remains relevant. It is an approach which I commit myself to upholding and advancing. The challenges which have manifested themselves with regard to our national and regional development and security trajectories are very well known to all of us here. Radical extremist violence, terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, human trafficking in weapons, trafficking in drugs, climate change, resource-driven conflicts, etc., etc. Mostly manifesting initial in a national problem. These challenges evolved over time into transborder and multinational challenges. As a people, we are still counting the cost of challenges which different and armed criminal groups are posing to Nigeria and regional development. We know thousands of lives have been lost and continue to be wasted. We know that various infrastructure assets built at a huge cost have been destroyed in deliberate act of reckless vandalism. We see the thousands of people who have been internally displaced at home or forced into refugee camps abroad. With farming activities disrupted, we have seen shortages of food items and food price inflation that are further undermining human security. I can go on and on in enumerating the costs that have been and are still being inflicted on mass of the people by the crisis of insecurity. To respond meaningfully to the discontent and to redress the many implications arising from them, we must begin by reminding ourselves of the old dictum: foreign policy is but a continuation of domestic policy. As a first step, we must recalibrate domestic policy in order to revamp the foundation on which our need to pursue human security rests. At one level, this will mean the pursuit with renewed vigor of growth-promoting employment, creating, and poverty eradicating policies at home as applied in my renewed Hope 23. That is the action plan for a better Nigeria as adopted by my political party. The present administration has invested heavily in agriculture, providing loans and expanding the country's total area of cultivated land. We will build on this, but our focus will be on using technology and expertise to accelerate growth and development by providing the critical infrastructure necessary to achieve the commodity transformation in the agricultural value chain. Roads, rail, access to ports, storage and infrastructure are what we require to radically transform the agricultural sector and increase its value to the nation. Provided this be the area of our focus, so that the full potential of our agro-economy can be achieved and we can reap the benefits in jobs, improved economy, opportunities, and increased prosperity. Fixing the perennial review of energy supply is another priority. There is no version of the world where Nigeria's ambition for itself can be achieved without solving the problem of how to provide energy to homes and businesses across the country. It is time to recognize that the centralized approach to energy policy infrastructure is not an optimal arrangement, and it is unlikely to improve by mere tinkering around the sides. The federal government, as regulator and operator and the price fixer, is a broken model. We are sure to fix this, and we are determined to do so on purpose. We have privatized the power distribution in Nigeria and generation to a certain degree. What we need to do going forward is to improve the enabling environment and further reform the legal regulatory framework to attract more private investment in the sector, as we have experienced in the telecom industry. I believe that the private sector is the engine of economic progress. It's evident and documented. However, fundamental flaws with the basic design of our national economy impeding the private sector from playing the role it ought to and adding the value it is capable of doing. In this instance, the government must act as a catalyst. We shall do this on all fronts. We will address the conflict between monetary and fiscal policies. Budgeting will be based upon the projected spending level needed to push the real annual growth rate above 7%. We will reduce the unemployment rate so that we can double the economy in 10 years. At another level, we must learn to make foreign policy work better for our domestic, social, economic, and political priorities. To do so, our foreign policy apparatus will need to be renewed to take full advantage of global initiatives and processes that work for us and tally with our domestic priorities. In this instance, I applaud the outcome of the COP27 that recently ended in Egypt in acknowledging the legitimate claim of Global South on climate action, in accepting adaptation and energy transition principles, including the treatment of gas as a transition fuel. We will work more on this. We will work to accelerate investment in gas production, and we are committed to enhancing domestic and global energy security. Furthermore, beyond what we do nationally, we must also become much bolder as Africans in our effort at regional and continental integration and security. In this regard, we are fully committed to the African Union's Agenda 2063 for continental transformation. Amidst the changes taking place in the global order, the primary unity of leadership in Nigeria, and I dare say all Africa, is how we think a vision of national development and security that is human-centered, not foreign policy that is crafted to fit the priorities of rebirth and accelerated progress. This is the task to which my colleagues and I have committed ourselves as part of a broader project of leveraging our national assets and natural endowment to nurture and to project a renewed Nigeria that will be responsive, and respected driver of prosperity and harmony in Africa and I am confident that the Nigerian people will go to the polls in a few short months and give me their mandate. I'm ready to lead and govern the country. I will return here to interact with you when the elections are over.
As a president,
I will come. Definitely. Not with a long list of priorities for the future, but with a plan for the collaboration in the best interest of the country. I love the country I love and dedicate myself to for a lifetime. I hope you will receive me then. Nigeria is part of a global community, ready to accelerate its growth and committed to democracy, freedom, and understanding around the world. We will take the lead. Democracy is not easy to manage, to promote. We have seen challenges around and across the world, but we are up to the task.
On your mind, on your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand.